of the day, he spoke it. Why do y'all want to change his words so bad?
I asked you, what is the definition of a Negro, Simon? I didn't say anything about his words.
In the United States.
Stop doing a running man.
I'll tell you this, right? I'll tell you what the difference. I'll tell you what this was. In the United States, a Negro was a child born to a Negro.
Bro, don't be making up shit.
No, that's not what the definition
no.
says.
See, y'all don't know y'all history.
Wait a minute. In the definition
y'all don't know the black code. Y'all don't know the slave
from
code.
America.
In the United States, listen, respectfully. In the United States, a Negro is a person born to a Negro woman. All right? This is what it was defined as. That's what it was defined. This is how.
What is a Negro? You keep saying a Negro woman. What is a Negro? Not what. Not. It's real simple, Simon. Simple, Simon. What is a Negro?
Listen, I'm gonna do. See, I didn't want to do this to y'all, right? But I'm gonna go let y'all know what it says in the slave codes and the black codes about what a Negro is. It's separate. It's separate from how it was in the diaspora. But that's the intersectionality that you guys want to do to erase the actual people that we are. But I mean, if it's cool with you, it's not cool with me, respectfully.
Hold on. That's not intersectionality. That's not intersectionality. No.
I don't think they even take the time to look up the definition of intersectionality, because y'all keep misusing the word.
I got it.
Y'all keep on adding to it.
Hold on a second. I'll pull it up.
And then the actions. My bad, energy. Sorry.
Yeah, intersection. It does not. It's a person or a group. Like, I don't understand why y'all misusing it to fit your narrative.
Listen, but that's not how it is in the United States. You have to understand our harms are different, right? Our harms were different.
Borders, yo.
And so so y'all never so y'all never read Special Field Order 15. Y'all don't know the black codes or the slave codes. Y'all don't know who was considered 3/5 of a person. These are all the ancestors of the people that were born from a Negro woman.
What is a Negro?
So
in the United States, no, listen. In the United States,
Negro women didn't exist in the Caribbean and Jamaica and St. Thomas and Barbados.
They
wasn't calling them Negro. What were they calling them?
That's not the argument. They weren't in perpetuity. They weren't.
Yes, they were. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Right. That's what the law was. The law was perpetuity at birth.
What are you talking about? That's what chattel slavery is.
Queen Isabella stated that way back when, brother. Come on, man.
Yeah, Isabella did. Right before you
I know y'all got an issue with it, but this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do.
All of those things.
Listen, I'm gonna let y'all have the new narrative y'all want to paint, right?
It's not a new narrative, man. We don't believe that shit. We don't believe that shit you're saying. The stuff you're saying is not correct.
It's not new,
because
Simon.
But if it was true, we would be building our own towns right now, and it would be a lot of you would, instead of the funds being made in this country and being shipped back over towards Western Union, we would be building our towns right here with each other. But that's not what's happening.
On the official
that's not
FBA
and that's if
website,
we were going Negro.
Simon, real quick, brother. I promise I'm gonna let you go right on ahead. In the definition of FBA on the official website, it says specifically that this Americas was built by slaves and their descendants. On the official FBA website.
Listen, I'm not defending. I look like I'm defending FBA. That's not something I gotta defend.
So y'all have a whole nother. I mean, can you tell me what it is exactly that your flag represents, and where can I read this, or did you just make this shit up?
What flag are you even talking about? Everybody knows what the flags I got that I read.
And it does not represent what you're saying.
My point has never changed. My point hasn't changed ever, right?
Your outer
and you know that
don't
flag
match
does
the
not
flag.
represent what you're saying.
My point hasn't changed like ever. But this is the difference. This is different. If we were all Negro, right? If we were all Negro, when the Caribbeans and when the Africans come here, they will help us build our Negro towns. They don't, because they don't look
They
at
literally
themselves as
move
U.S.
into black
Negroes. Yo, chill,
neighborhoods
chill,
and
chill.
become a
They
fabric
take their
of
money
us.
and they
What are you
send it
talking about?
back overseas to
The
their
African
actual homeland.
dysphoria
They
engagement
literally send it
for
over
that.
back
That
to
is
their
a lie.
homeland. If we
That
were
is a
all Negro
lie.
like you Pan Africans want everybody to be, our towns would be booming. Our banks would be back up. Our hospitals would be back up. But you're trying to tell people you this what Black Americans like
So
to
you
do. Y'all like
blaming
to
all of
classify
that
people.
on
When we've
No, no,
done
no.
Caribbeans
that,
and
This what Black
Where
immigrants?
does
Americans
we
that
like to
just
do.
had a
evidence
bomb
is
in
Y'all
that
like
we
to
supposed to
1985.
classify
be that
people.
we
Fucking
Pan
We
Y'all
just
Africanism?
had
love
a bomb
black
in
Mind you,
one.
that we don't
1985.
want everybody to be
Yeah,
Pan
y'all got it
African.
though.
That's not
Y'all
what
got it.
Pan
Yo,
Africanism
but
is.
guess what?
We don't
I wish
care
y'all the
who's Pan
best.
African and
I
who's
wish y'all
not,
the best,
Simon.
yo.
And
don't
we
I
don't
wish
leave,
y'all the
care.
Simon.
best.
Pan
Yeah, I
Africanism
wish y'all
is
the
not
best. Y'all
about
got it, man.
everybody going back to
Don't
Africa
don't
either.
leave,
That's
man.
another
Don't
narrative
run.
that wait a
You
minute,
just said we was running.
wait a minute. That's another narrative that y'all spreading, that Pan Africanism is about everybody going back to Africa, when in fact that's not what it is. Marcus Garvey said, and I fucking quote, and I agree with him, some of you niggas is not even good here in America, so what good would you be in Africa? I agree 100% with him with that. There are many people who I would never want to see go to Africa. So trust me, Pan Africanism is not about everybody going back to Africa. That is not what we push. I can
Right.
care less where y'all go.
Great point. Hey, can I play this video right quick on intersectionality real quick? And this is coming from Kimberly Crenshaw, who coined the term, and it's actually was added to the Oxford Dictionary, a Black woman who coined this particular term. Can I just, it's only a minute and 54 seconds, so we can have everybody can have a clear understanding. If you don't mind, Sue.
Intersectionality is just a metaphor for understanding the ways that multiple forms of inequality or disadvantage sometimes compound themselves, and they create obstacles that often are not understood within conventional ways of thinking about anti-racism or feminism or whatever social justice advocacy structures we have. Intersectionality isn't so much a grand theory, it's a prism for understanding certain kinds of problems. African American girls are 6 times more likely to be suspended than white girls. That's probably a race and a gender problem. It's not just a race problem, it's not just a gender problem. So I encourage people to think about how the convergence of race stereotypes or gender stereotypes might actually play out in the classroom, between teachers and students, between students and other students, between students and administrators, and commit themselves to understanding that as a way of intervening and providing equal educational opportunity for all students, regardless of their identity. Identity isn't simply a self-contained unit. It is a relationship between people in history, people in communities, people in institutions. So schools do a good job when they understand that and when they commit themselves to curricular development, to opportunities in the school for all students to understand the histories that have brought us to this particular moment. You can't change outcomes without understanding how they've come about. So independent schools can take the lead on that, to be responsive to their student populations and to the communities out of which the students come.
What's going on, everybody?
Peace, sis. Peace.
Good evening.
Thank you, Black First.
No doubt. You know,
What's good, Juice?
I say, you know, you keep on talking about hearing it from the horse's mouth. I mean, one thing about this particular conversation that people like Simon and Dr. No Job continues to disregard is that we have evolved into something better than the simple mindedness that they promote to our people. And we are not going to allow them to continue to walk into these spaces and just freestyle, i.e., I mean, well, for I give credit to Susan for that word as well. Freestyle and try to promote change definitions of words in order for it to fit their particular narratives. When you come into these spaces, realize that there are those of us who we get it, we understand it, we know it, and we're going to do our due diligence to make sure that we are on the right path. And that path is about being honest and open. Tell the truth. And again, I'm quoting the syndicate. Good, bad, and the ugly. That's the thing. Stop with the bullshit, Simon. We don't want to hear all of these circular arguments that you continue to bring forth. You have nothing that you're really offering us but a bunch of talk, man. Give us something of substance. And Kimberly Crenshaw is one of those people who have dedicated their lives to the betterment of understanding how social injustice impacts our community, whether it be through intersectionality, through critical race theory, and so on and so forth. These are people who are actually doing something. They're just not talking, they're actually doing something. So show me where FBA is actually doing something other than calling people out their names.
Bro, they don't exist on paper.
Exactly. And then again, like
I'm not trying to be funny about but they're taking the talking points of Tariq Nasheed, but they're following Clyde Anderson. Clyde Anderson never put this on paper. Then they keep talking this lineage stuff. And then when I bring up these people that are dating inside their own race, but it's from the same sex, they disagree with them because a lot of them, you know, sometimes they agree with them, sometimes they don't, because some of the people that were fighting for the civil rights in the civil rights movement were in interracial relationships with people from the same sex.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Those are your people.
And then foundational black is not even a lineage. I don't understand why they keep on saying that either.
It can't be a lineage because I'm going to it. Because I was about to play oh boy, but I'm gonna go to it again. This is what it says. The 3 stars represent 3 groups who make up the ethnic group that would become foundational Black Americans. The Black Aboriginals of North America didn't exist. The Black explorers and traders who had contact with America before Christopher Columbus, that they're trying to identify with Moors, they came in before Christopher Columbus, that didn't exist.
Don't exist.
And this is what now remember, they're going off Clyde Anderson and with Tariq Nasheed.
Please
so
show
you
that.
can take those 2 groups out of there.
Put
and
it
then
on the third group.
Hold on. The third group is the captives who were brought to the Western Hemisphere from Africa. That could mean more than just Black people.
Yep.
So put it on the big screen, please. Arabs. So people could see what you're reading, bro. That right there.
I've been showing them this shit all day, but
that right
I want to play.
I've never seen that. So
we're gonna play Melvin Charles. This is what he said.
God, dog.
Simon does have a point. I'm gonna give Simon some credit. He does have a point, but this is why they said this flag was created.
Naval Gleason T. Jackson. Our race of people.
You heard that, right? Our race of people. What's our race? We're Black. Whether you want to identify as African American, Black American, foundational Black American, we Black. We know where we come from. We know where we come from. This is the race of Black people. That's what he's talking about. They didn't exclude Black immigrants. He said the race. One more time.
Talking about the idea of something we could do in the 60s about trying to make progress for our race of people. And
our race of people. Nigga, it's over with. The conversation's over with. That's why they created the flag, for our race of people living here in America.
Well, I think you can even dead it even more.
I thought I heard him say indigenous when he said that.
Yo, you got
Agent
your
Push,
pretending
did you
ears
say
on
you have
black
his
first?
book? You have his book where he talks about the flag, the rallying point?
Yeah, I have his book.
Yes.
Okay, so in the book, is it gonna give the description of the flag? The one that's on the website? Because I think the video.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we gotta find that.
Yeah,
If anybody out there has his book, could y'all please show us in the book where it defines the colors and the logos that come with the flag? Because if it's different from what's on that website, then now we have a problem.
Yeah, because the website has it in quotation, so they're quoting it from somewhere, and I'm assuming it's the book.
Yeah, well, when I read it, it said the designer.
Yeah, the designer's plural, and so I'm assuming because in that video that you just played, he talks about what the flag represents and everything, but it's not in as much detail. So I'm assuming in his book, that's 200 pages, he's going into more detail, and I'm assuming that's what's on the website is the more detailed description.
Can somebody tell me the name of the book? I'm sorry.
It's called The
Rallying Point.
The Rallying Point?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to the website, the original Black American Heritage Flag.com, and when you get to where it says the flag, according to the designer, and that's what I've been talking about this entire time, they tell us what each color and what each symbol on the flag represents. But in the video, he don't say that. I'm about to play it. This is what he says in the video.
Then he mentioned the word of a flag. I said, if you're willing to try, I'm willing to be there with you. I have great thoughts about it. I think it will take some time, but I want to design a flag. And that's when we started. The next process was for us to be able to get together, to sit down and talk about what we wanted to put in the flag. But after about 2.5 weeks, we came up with this idea to make a flag that had diagonal stripes of red and black, and to have a fig wreath circled in the center of it, and a blunted sword. And of course, we had to recognize that each item, we had to have some sort of explanation. And then when we looked at the blunted sword, we thought of the feeling of having pride, and also knowing that when you have a blunted sword, when you blunt it, you learn to curdle the earth. And then we thought about the wreath, which we also had in the color gold, that would be for peace, prosperity, and everlasting life. And the red would be for the rich blood we've shed for freedom, justice, human dignity. And the color black was for the pride in our pigmentation. The inspiration basically came from us sitting down, not only sitting down and talking about it, but I would go to the library, he would go to it. We'd both go. And we sat down and looked at all the different items. There's a thought pattern that we put into it. I mean, I think about, it was a piece of the musician in me. There was a piece of the businessman that was in me. And there was a piece of the child that's still in me. That I could stand there and wave the flag. Well, the first thing we did with it was...
And they have him in a newspaper article. It says, the artist carries banner for pride in a people, as Melvin Charles of South Brunswick holds the Black American Heritage flag. And then he had a partner designed in 1967. But it don't tell me what actually news article it's in. So as I guess the news articles by Rick Maltwitz, staff writer, It's at South Brunswick, so I don't know where that would actually be located, but we just need to find the quote.
What year is that? What year is that?
What year is what? The YouTube piece?
No, the newspaper.
The newspaper.
Hey, don't tell me. Yeah, I'll let y'all look. I'll let y'all look at it.
Does somebody have his book? Because I can buy it right now. It's $18. Nobody has the book. I can buy it.
So where's it? What's the name of the newspaper? New Brunswick what?
So I don't know. I saw South New Brunswick on there.
Okay.
Staff photographer is Dick Costello.
Community. And of course,
And then that's it.
stand there and wave the flag. Well, the first thing we did with it was our thoughts were.
It says at the bottom, see flag page A2.
We have to let the community know about it. And of course,
because that's what he's saying about the colors and the images that's on the flag. But that don't mean that's what he said. He put the description on the actual, I don't know if it was a website at the time or in his book. Because that's probably what he said. You know, it means this and this out his own mouth. But when it comes to the book, he probably put those images with something.
Yeah,
because when you go to the website, it said that fig is representative of Africa, and that sword is a Moorish person sword, the leader of the Moors, who they at the time probably thought was black.
Yeah, he just being general in that interview. He's not really breaking it down.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell Simon.
Yeah.
But when he talks, he said a race of people, our race of people. We know who he's talking about.
But today we find, right, these people who want to use Pan-Africanism, this quest for unity to insult us as if, they're calling us, clan members and so on and so forth. So, Simon and Dr. No Nuts, Dr. No Job need to, understand the definitions more so than what they're doing, man. People like the creators of this particular flag, as we all can see, I think we all can see, are Pan-Africans. They want what we all really want in this world, right? We want all of us to be unified in some type of way or form. Of course, we know that we're not monolithic. We are people with different ideas, but ultimately, it comes back down to the liberation of all Africans throughout the world, wherever we may be, where we are free, where we have somewhere to call home, where our politics all come together, our ideas come together, and so on and so forth. But when we're talking to the FBA group, I just get this sense of hatred from these people. And I can understand the discontent for the system and so on and so forth. But when you become a person who wants to punch low, you want to go after the low hanging fruit. You're not trying to go after the powers that be. That's the thing that separates true freedom fighters from people who are just grifters in our community.
But Black First, I don't even get I don't even think there's a disintent for the system, because they're telling us to vote for Donald Trump, which we know is part of the symptoms, and the system, and they're acting like it's not the government and it's not the same fucking tree, different branches. And I'm like, I don't get that part. Y'all want us to vote for Trump, but then y'all telling us about all of this anti-government stuff. So that there also does not make sense to me. I don't understand that part either. And that's a part that I'm trying to understand, because y'all can't be anti-government and then at the same time telling us to vote for Trump because he got black people interest at heart. I don't understand it.
I don't understand something. Can I come in, X? Because like what she said is something that I don't understand either. I don't understand how on both sides you got people that's our color that when they come over here, they can claim a status. And in fact, at Brother X, guess what a lot of their status is? It's not like black first, right? They put white down there. So anybody can elaborate on that in our land?
Who are you talking about? You talking about FBA?
No,
you talking about black Africans?
I'm talking about, we got a group of indigenous people that's in the Americas, and you got some Africans that come over here.
North Africans?
You got to claim status at some point in time in your ancestry. Some pick what his name is, that first black. Some pick white. We call it status all across the world, right? So like, can you elaborate why some people that look like us right now, in fact, I know about off the top of my head because I just did a study on it, 31% of 31% of black over here in our country and across the world. You know, it's get higher when you get across the world.
You okay, bro?
Yeah, I'm coughing because
Need some water?
I'm good. Are y'all good? Because y'all seem like y'all ain't know that.
Okay.
That's why I start coughing, because it's COVID going around here. Because y'all ain't like y'all don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But go ahead.
Okay, let me tell you what you.
But I came up here for him. I ain't come up here for you. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Brother X. I didn't say name one of y'all names. I gave y'all respect. Y'all said it was all right to talk, but I'll mute myself. Go ahead.
Thank you. So it could be why a lot of those people are putting down white, because some people self-identify. Some people don't like to identify with the term black. And if you look in these etymologies and our black people who use etymology and things like that, they'll tell you things like black means death. So they will identify as white or associate themselves with white, because here in America, they say that black means death and it represents death.
Okay.
So
white assimilates to fire too. I done heard white fire. The destructive part of fire. No. Nuclear fusion, they say white. So it's a lot of destructive features with white too. I'm just proving the point, right?
And I agree with you.
Because I hear that what you saying too, right? But go ahead.
I agree with you. And there are a lot of destructive. I don't identify as white, but I'm saying you ask why do some of the people that come over here identify as white? And I'm telling you that might be
not being politically correct, ma'am.
No,
we all know that. Hold up.
People choose.
You're not being correct. Hey, may I elaborate, black?
Identify.
Me as a black person, my status is black. My interest rate is going to be higher than hers because she put her status down as white. By me living in the United States of America, we know that we is considered a lower class because they be discriminating against us. But in fact, a person like her that sell out, like how she said, we sell out. That way we can get our status. They sell out on us. I'm just saying that's what you sound like to me. You might not mean it like that, but go ahead and elaborate on what you meant, ma'am.
Don't come up here saying shit that you don't know. If you're gonna have a conversation, we'll have a conversation. But if you want to be disrespectful, that's a whole nother thing. Don't tell me. Don't
what's your status? We calling them out nowadays. I want to know your status now. What's your status? I told you my status. What's your status right now?
You ask me why do some people identify?
Okay, no, we over that. I'm asking you now, what's your status? Because you act like you one of them ones. That's why you do that. You beating around the bush instead of saying people. You should say I, because you one of the ones that I'm talking about.
You
go on and say it.
No, she's not. She's an African American.
My question, I just told you that there's some Africans that come over here too. In fact,
can I answer that question?
Sudan Africans, they're going to identify as white. In fact, they had a white army that was melanated people. They painted their face white. and did a massacre throughout the whole Sudan. Don't tell me that half the African blacks don't act like that.
America,
they
brother,
status. I'm talking about Africa and America. I said, didn't I say America? Status? Don't you got something called status in America? What's your status, brother? You claim that you're a brother X. Now I'm gonna ask you. What's your status? We all got a status. Am I lying, black?
You get up here to ask everybody they damn status,
No,
bro. African American.
y'all beating around the bush, bro. Y'all beating around the bush. I'm asking y'all status. African American is not a status. I'm asking status. That's what I'm trying to teach y'all. There's a difference between nationality. There's a difference between. Okay, go ahead.
African American, bro.
That's not a status. I swear to God, that's not a status.
Yes,
it
is. There's only 4 in the United States. You talk about taxonomy.
Not really. That's a newer name. Africa is fairly new. That's one of the newest names that continent was named after.
Don't do that. That's
Africa. Ain't no don't do that. I don't play no games. I don't believe in no propaganda.
Lavarius, you have to let everybody fucking speak. Every time somebody starts speaking, you interrupt them.
Technically. But tell the truth. I don't believe in no lies.
Oh, well, let me.
So, like, whenever you get ready, feel free to block me or drop me. You know I don't get no fuck. Because I don't believe in no propaganda.
Well, let me finish. You're only
you are propaganda, nigga.
The statuses are citizens, residents, non-immigrants, and undocumented immigrants. You are talking about a social taxonomy when you talk about color. That is two completely different things.
Propaganda machine.
2 completely different things.
What's your status? What's your status?
Well, let me answer his first question about why they would be quote unquote classified as white and look like us. Is because according to census.gov, North Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, all the people from there are classified as white on the census.
Yeah, they are.
So if they look like us and they're from North Africa, they're white. They're from the Middle East and they look like us, they're white.
Anything below the sub-Saharan is considered Black Africa, which is considered Black. Anything above the Sahara is called North Africa. That'll be Algeria, Tangiers, the Levant area, Egypt, Lebanon, and those areas. Those people, when they come into the United States as immigrants or as visas, they get not the status, but the social construct as white.
And isn't there a case where a black guy came over, he was classified as white, so he took it to court?
Yeah, I know you're talking about that, but there's another case. There was a guy, an actual Indian guy, who actually challenged the Supreme Court because he was actually from the Caucasus Mountains. And he challenged the terminology white. And when it finally came out to be that the Supreme Court defines what is white by how somebody looks, and not determined by where they're from. Because supposedly white was supposed to be Caucasian, and those people who are in the Caucasus Mountains by the Black Sea, some of them are dark, but a lot of them are white, and that's really the area of Turkey. So when he came over and they tried to classify him as being I think it was Indian or something like that, or Hindu or whatever it was, because this was a case like in 1920, and he challenged it because he was actually heritage from the Caucasus Mountains. And they determined that the status of white, that the Supreme Court gets to determine what that is. And they determined it as what looks white. And I could bring that case up. Give me a second.
The Latinos doing it now. Y'all doing it now. Y'all should be ashamed. Y'all disgrace.
We doing it now because we claim we're African American.
You Hispanic white. You Hispanic whites claiming the status that ain't y'all. Y'all identity thieves.
Who's a Hispanic white panel is what I want to know. Because last time I took a DNA test, it didn't have no Hispanic in it.
Yes. It kind of seems like we're talking, what's going on, y'all? It kind of seems like we're talking past each other a lot because everybody's trying to get their ideology off. The only Pan-Africanism I think we might need is more economic based. outside of a trade union because we have to be in a trade union.
Because we know if you got one drop of nigga in you, we been know that. All y'all know that.
But the Black American is an amalgamation of three different.
But no, y'all putting white down as y'all status. Y'all want me to
you please
respect
let her
that shit.
speak. She been waiting for a long time.
No, we ain't about to do that. It was too much bloodshed. Shout out to Fred Hampton.
Okay,
shout out to Fred Hampton for the indigenous act of America.
Hey,
Our rights.
Hold on,
I never forget about our
Energy, hold
brothers.
on, Mo.
Only paint your face white.
He reminds me, he's like the Black Power nuclear. That's what he reminds me of. He just blurts out anything that has to do with black shit, just like nuclear does with thermonuclear dynamics. This wow.
Finish what I was saying.
Shit. Go ahead.
Okay. Black American people are an amalgamation of three different groups of people because the business. Hey, I'm be real with you. I'm not trying to hear you keep talking while I'm trying to talk. And you're going to irritate me.
Yeah, the bloodshed and tears that my people don't spread it.
Brother, you have to let her talk.
Like you need to, you speaking too hastily. Ain't no way you listening, and every time I look at the phone, you talking. Now be quiet, please. The Black American is an amalgamation of three different racial groups because of the business of human chattel. And realistically, we probably gonna have, like, if we're having a reparations conversation, I'm not even sure where exactly we are in this conversation. But if we're talking about it from a reparations lens, because we're gonna need to track ourselves back to war crimes, we're gonna have to do it through lineage. But we have to talk about the fact that the business of human chattel involves the European, the African, and the indigenous.
Don't even got no.
And now in 2024, that has turned into a lot of different ethnic groups.
No, you might as well go ahead and block me. Y'all still talking that propaganda ass shit. You won't even tell me.
Please drop him because
wait, hold on, wait, because he keep doing this propaganda shit. So
what the fuck? Say they real names.
What is propaganda? Fuck the real name, nigga. This is a fucking social. This is a social media app. No one has to use their real fucking name. You the only dumbass nigga on here that chose to put your whole fucking name on a social media app where you could have chose a nickname. So be mad at yourself, nigga, because you the only idiot that did it.
His whole government.
Every time a female start talking, this nigga gotta start blurting out shit. Just let her get her shit off. After she get her shit off, you can get your shit off.
Nigga, I'm tired of your propaganda.
He definitely.
I don't need to block you. Just mute and let her talk.
Because you be talking lies every time I'm on here. I be trying to get you to put.
Man, just let her talk. Jesus, just let her talk, man.
Hey, Smack, didn't we go through this shit earlier where the nigga tried to say I was going through lies and propaganda? Didn't we do this?
Yeah, he called my name a propaganda. Man, my mama,
He put his foot in his mouth and then he left. Every time we let you talk, Lavarius, you end up putting your foot in your mouth, saying some shit that's not right. Then you realize you fucked up and you leave. Then you come right the fuck back.
For educated purpose.
Just mute until she's done talking, bro.
Yeah, for
y'all start.
Lavarius, bruh, just let her talk. He ain't gonna block you, man. Just tell the fuck out, man. Damn. I'm acting goofy, man.
Right.
Every time I looked at the phone, he wasn't even saying shit, but he keep talking loud. But he not here. So. But yeah, like the Black American, what is now known as the Black American in 2024, it has been reclassified constantly and amalgamated between three different groups of people. And so when we're sitting here talking about like, you know, all this lineage stuff, that it's going to come through, like, there's no way to make lineage-based anything simply just the racial classification of Black, because that's not even the history of why the reparations and the war crimes were even committed. So I'm not even really sure what he's talking about, but everybody else is, you know, so the Pan-Africanism really only works in an economic term. Outside of being in treaties, which we have the European Union, we have the African Union, we have the Asian Union. So it works in economic pairings. So if we're talking about Pan-Africanism, instead of focusing on Pan-Africanism, we can practice a form of Pan-Americanism, which is still global Blackness, but it also solves the problem and gets us a resource at the same time. You have a trade route. And it's more feasible to go trade routes with with the Caribbean rather than trade routes all the way to Africa. Until we get
they don't believe
we
in
need to watch what
immigration.
Burkina Faso
They
is
don't
doing.
believe in helping with immigration or fucking with people outside the diaspora of America. That's what these FBA people is on. They just want to do everything.
Yeah, but they just.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
They want other people to help them do it. They want other countries and the islands and stuff to build stuff for them, and then they'll build it for themselves here in America.
They want a check. That's what they want. They don't want nobody getting no more crumbs. They want to put a cap on it because they think somebody else going to get something. While the United States government just cut, 271 Ukrainians came into America within 1 year. And
Man,
they doled out over $71 billion to Ukraine, which is an ex-Soviet Union country. So don't they got it? What you count on their pockets for? United States got it. They gonna print it.
Well, reparations, they are going to print it eventually, but I think that we need to start building the systems now if we're having a real conversation about it. But I don't think that we need to be sending all this money, and that I'm in agreement with you. So.
Well, I'm not for or against reparations, but I believe like we need to get our own shit. If we sitting around waiting for them to give us something that, I mean, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with that. So the whole reparation thing is not even my argument. I don't argue for reparations, like I said, but I'm not against it. But I don't argue for that because I'm not going to sit around and wait for anybody to give me anything, especially a government who we know is definitely not for us. I don't, even if they did give it to us, what consequences and what would come behind that? Like, can we even trust them to give us anything? Like anything they ever given us was not to benefit us or to help